Welcome to Drill Down Earnings. We have quarterly results from Cadence Design Systems, that giant in the software that's made to design semiconductors. So important right now. That company and Synopsys really dominating that industry. This is the business story behind one stock on a move. I'm Cory Johnson, Chief Market Strategist from Epistrophy Capital Research. And Cadence Design is so important in this era where semiconductor design is really designing the future of the world right now, maybe more so than ever with AI growing everywhere. There's a Q3 earnings from the company. Wall Street likes a beat or a miss, and this was a beat. So let's dig into the business, what we actually saw here. So $1.2 billion in revenues, and that's up 19% from the previous year, pretty sizably, as well as operating margins of 29%, which are right in line with what they'd done before. But operating margins of 29% are great for any business. And their backlog really strong. Those are kind of the highlight numbers here. But when we dig a little bit deeper, one of the things I'm watching for is what's happening with our China business. So concerned about what's happening with how export controls are limiting what certain companies can sell into China, and how some companies don't seem to be affected by that or fighting their way into Chinese business regardless of those export controls. Well, Cadence Design is a perfect example of that. Their China sales had been declining, but then took a bump up this quarter. Yeah, I did the chart in red because it's red China. I mean, it's right there for me. Also, we saw a 13% increase in their sales on a year-over-year basis. So not only are the sales growing, the pace of growth is increasing slightly from what we've seen the last 2 quarters. And they were boasting about that in their press release and indeed in their conference call. Well, how did the stock react when these numbers came out? The numbers were seen very favorably. You saw the stock rally 6% after a pretty, ho-hum year of just a 10% rise. So think of it this way, they got 6% today, they got 10% in 12 months. So a real strong move there, finally, from Cadence Design. Now they offered, as they always do, annual guidance, but this is the third quarter, so they were kind of really offering a 1 quarter's guidance. And I thought it was kind of curious when the guidance for next quarter shows a decline in the growth rate and kind of a flat number. Maybe they're sandbagging the quarter, I don't know. But this certainly would help them beat numbers next time around. We shall see. I don't really give stock advice. I don't care about that. But it's interesting to see how this business is growing in this era of AI. And something that I've been thinking about a lot and doing some research on, there's been so much talk about data centers trying to find new sources of energy, whether it's from hydro or you've got companies like Google and Microsoft engaging in acquiring nuclear power to manage their data centers' power needs. Well, the other thing you can do is just make chips more efficient. And using the software from these companies like Synopsys and Cadence might offer the same kind of thing. Well, with Cadence, we actually have a test case because they make some of their own chips. And they're using AI to make those chips more effective. So on the conference call, the CEO, Anirudh Devgan, was asked about what they're doing to use AI on their own chips and maybe see some improvements in power. And that's exactly what he says they're getting in a way to sort of manage the power needs of AI chips.
I think the value of AI is not just productivity, which is huge. I mean, we have a history of productivity improvements in EDA, but the value of AI is when it can give a better result, So that's where I think the real value and monetization can happen if the result is better. And we also design our own chips as well. As you know, Palladium, we design our own chip, one of the most complicated chips that is made by TSMC. And we design our own IP, right, in our IP group. So we are also applying our own solutions internally as well. So these are like true comparisons of, AI versus non-AI solutions. So even in the latest Palladium Z3 chip, we saw like 15% improvement in power using Cadence Cerebrus. And in the latest, AI IP we designed, we saw anywhere from 13 to 20% improvement in our IP group using our own Cadence.ai solutions, which is very consistent with what we see with top customers. So overall, we are pleased with the benefit we are getting, especially with the improvement in PPA.
So PPA, when we're talking about chips, is power, performance, and area. And those are the things that govern how much electricity a chip is going to need to perform the task it wants to do. So when you're talking about designing a system on a chip, PPA is everything. And these guys using AI and using that Cadence software to get better PPA, a topic we'll be paying a lot of attention to in the next few months. All right, what's it all mean? Drill down earnings takeaway, one number that tells us a whole lot with the drill down earnings bite. Yeah, we've got all that. The Cadence Q3 numbers. Here's what you want to remember. $1.2 billion in revenues, a 19% year-over-year increase in revenues. That's a big turnaround from a business that looked like it was slowing down quite a lot, picking up again, and using their software to design more efficient, powerful chips. Powerful quarter from this company. And thanks for checking out Drill Down Earnings. I'm Cory Johnson.